What are NLP eye accessing cues? Can you really tell if a person's lying just by watching their eyes? Can we really know more about what a person's thinking just by watching the direction of where they fleet their eyes? Find out here. Hey everyone, I'm Mike Sweet from mikesweet.co.uk, giving you the edge with NLP and psychology. Eye accessing cues get a lot of, should I say, bad rap or bad reputation. Some people think it's manipulative, or that people trained in NLP can understand what a person's thinking, or are they lying, or are they telling me the truth, or really understand what's going on. Is that true? Well, I hate to say it, a lot of it sometimes can be true, but it also can be false too. So there's so much more to, as with lots of NLP and lots of science, lots of studies, there's a lot more to it. It's not a black and white. It's not a definite that you can turn to every time. Now, let's just break down what eye accessing cues mean. So it's said that when our eyes are going up and out, that we are seeing images or representing images in our mind. When our eyes go left and right, is that we're hearing things auditory, so whether through our ears or internally. And then when our eyes go down, both left and right, we're either talking to ourselves or having a feeling inside. And then, of course, there's the dead look whilst talking, when eyes are just fixed on a spot and not moving also. So, there are 7 real dominant eye accessing cues that we can turn to. So let's have a little look at those. So, as I mentioned first, the visual, people looking upwards and outwards, it's easy to remember because our eyes are at the top of our kind of face. So when your eyes go up, then you're seeing or representing images in your mind. Now, not 100% all of the time. When we're going across towards our ears, then we're hearing. When we're going down towards our mouth, we're either talking to ourselves or generating feelings. So the way I like to remember this, and it's also said that one side of our face is that we're remembering images or sounds, and the other one is that we're constructing or lying. So I like to remember this as left is lie and right is remember. Now, it's as you're looking at me, so it's your left as you look at me, not my left as I'm presenting. So I'll put this up on the screen now. So left is lie, right is remember. Now, left is lie is more like fabricate, construct, embellish, add to, create. It's not necessarily just a flat out lie, because people could embellish something that they've remembered. So you can see how it gets confusing. People who exaggerate will often embellish the truth. So they'll have the truth and then they'll put bells and whistles on it, which may look as if they are adding to or fabricating. But that's simply not the case. Perhaps they are just enriching it in a way that's right for them. Now, one thing you need to be absolutely certain of here is this isn't a hard and fast. This works for everyone the same way. People are wired different ways. It's said that about 75% of the population do this with this method. So you'll have visual construct, you'll have auditory construct, you'll have visual remembered, you'll have auditory remembered, you'll have auditory dialogue where you're talking to yourself, and kinesthetic, so a strong feeling. It's said that people do represent these mostly in the same place, but some people don't. They're wired differently. And of course, some people do things completely different altogether. So this is where being a skilled NLP practitioner is the only way to really fully understand and use this. And we use a process called calibration, where you will ask certain questions and find out actually where and what is being represented to this person. So we break out of the model that is the norm for most, and then we start to calibrate and find out where this individual's holding, accessing, recalling memories, feelings, when are they talking to themselves. So there is a little bit more to that, but it certainly gives you an idea. So, as a starting point, where do you start by learning eye accessing cues, and what can you do with it from the outset? Now, firstly, in order to elicit an eye movement or get someone to start searching for answers or talking to themselves, we've generally got to ask them about something that they haven't got a ready answer to, like what's your name and what's your favourite colour or favourite football team. Perhaps people have got an answer to that, so they don't need to go hunting around inside to have a find. But something like, where did you park your car this morning in the multi-storey car park? You'll find people do lots more with their eyes there, whether they're picturing where they parked it or whether they remember saying to themselves on the second floor, third down from the lift, or whether they're actually going down into feeling, I'm not too sure. It's always away from me. I never know where I parked it. But questions like that provoke someone to think deeply will allow their eyes to start flitting around. Now, you could ask someone a question like, if you crossed an elephant with a pig, what would it sing like? Now, this isn't something that they could possibly know, so they'll have to fabricate. So what do? Now, here's the interesting part. Don't for 1 second think they're just going to go to auditory and fabricate, so left is lie, in auditory, just to understand what it sounds like. Because at first, they've probably never heard a question like that. So they'll probably talk to themselves. Then they'll feel a bit odd, or could feel a bit odd, that someone's asked them such a stupid question. Then they might feel a bit embarrassed that they don't know how to answer it or that they're expected to sing. So much more is going on before that they can process that. But then how do they process that and look? And this is where you start to calibrate and notice those patterns. You know, what was your bedroom like when you were 7 years old? What wallpaper was on there? That's a great visual remember. That's something that hopefully they haven't got an auditory for, or they haven't got an internal dialogue. That probably is something they need to visually recall. So you'll be able to notice where those eye patterns go when they are visually recalling. See how that works? And this is maybe chatting to someone about their wedding day or the moment their child was born. And when you think about that experience now, what do you get? It's just, I can picture my wife holding the little one when she was born, and I could just hear my dad saying that this is the most important moment of your life, and it feels amazing. Now I was trying to throw some eye movements there, but you'll find that eye movements are very, very fast, sometimes lightning fast. But keep an eye out for them and notice what people's patterns are, and have a think about those types of questions that you can begin to elicit whether someone's remembering or someone's constructing. What's your favourite song? What does it sound like? How does your favourite song start? Is a great question. You have people all over the show asking themselves, what is my favourite song? Well, not that one. And then perhaps they're going to bring it to the forefront and remember it by going across to either left or right towards their ears and see if they are actually hearing it. Or if they're experiencing their favourite song whilst picturing themselves in their favourite room of the house. Again, how are they constructing that? But this is a great way for you to really take a deep dive into another person's experience. And that's what NLP is all about, subjective experience. What is someone else experiencing, and where do they store, access, hold all of that information? So remember, you can't really learn NLP by listening to me, watching me, or reading books or articles. The only way is through experience. So dive on over to the website and sign up to the newsletter. Every single week you'll have some experiential ideas that you can begin to implement NLP into your daily life, whether it be at work or with family. So head on over there now and get signed up. So I hope you've enjoyed this today, a brief insight into eye access and cues. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to the channel, and please pop a comment below. I'll more than happily answer them. You can also connect with me on social media too, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And if you'd rather listen to me, check out the podcast on iTunes. Bye for now.